Hello, how you doing?
A lot of my brothers and sisters, I'd say the majority of them, like 70% of them, don't slam.
That's Rakaya. She's a neuro. It's Reagan. He's a neuro. It's Christian.
This is my bro, Christian.
He's just always here.
What up?
He's just always here. He likes yams. He likes yams.
I like
too.
yams.
Christian doesn't slam a lot, but his poems are fucking crazy. He is so, oh my god, he's so cool. He's the coolest poet ever, but he doesn't slam. So it's kind of opened my eyes up to different kinds of poetry, and because slams can be kind of exhausting, and I see the pros and cons of slamming. I stayed with Verbal Blend because I remember at the first meeting, I saw Kenny Lewis, who has since graduated and who is my brother in neuro, and they just seemed so confident, and that was something I really admired. Hickey's lullaby my pulse until my rigor mortis corpse is nothing but a post-mortem memory of yours, warning. I came to SU and I was a freshman and I just didn't have a place in the campus community yet, naturally, so I was kind of asking around and I had expressed my interest in writing, and someone recommended that I go to the Office of Multicultural Affairs and see Cedric Bolton, who is now my brother in neuro, but he's also a very good friend of mine and he's a confidant.
I'm just thankful that God has given me the talent, but also given me people, surround me around people who trust me and really acknowledge some of the things that I do and also take it with them when they go places as well. So I'm really thankful that I have this little corner in the world that I'm able to shine my light. While you're writing, within that 30 seconds, I'm gonna throw a word in. I'm not giving you a word in the beginning. That's too easy.
I wrote my first poem in the first meeting and he was like, okay, now you have to go like stand up and say it. And I was so nervous, I couldn't do it. I did it, but I barely did it. And yeah, that's how I got my start. And I have been unstoppable ever since.
No. Ready?
Sorry.
Go.
Alright, I'll start. Sorry. Paul, we have been so unlike ourselves lately. I am losing blood, and I don't want my last words to be, why didn't you duck and pray for ceasefire? Why aren't you fighting harder? I cut a big piece out of this poem, so I forget. Wait, why aren't you fighting harder? I will make, okay, can we start over?
Coming from an artist perspective is that when you go to these competitions, you get to see what other people are doing. You want to see what resonates with other people. You want to bring that back, and you look at your own pieces of art and you want to say, okay, so how do I improve? What I do is like for instance, uses Love Letter to a Soldier. So it'll be like, my piece is called Love Letter to a Soldier, and they take a step back, gather themselves, and then bring themselves back into that space and start performing. So if you do that, then they'll know. Because if you write pieces by yourself, it becomes an echo chamber, and you just only hear yourself, and you don't progress.
Take the Mic is a poetry slam that I created about 5 years ago as a way to give students a platform to compete against other poets. Or poetry, in my sense, represents it's a life changer. It changes lives. So these poets who are hitting that stage, they know that their poems are changing lives. If not someone else, it's definitely themselves.
Hello, I'm Caroline again. Oh, I was so super nervous. I'm still super nervous. I'm wearing the same outfit. As the years have progressed, more and more of the audience is like friends of mine, and like that freshman year, I barely knew anyone there. So now I feel kind of like I'm just around like family and friends and people who I don't know. I feel more comfortable introducing myself to. So it's like, it's not scary. It's just fun. The poems I did in my second slam were far more personal and family related than my first two poems from my first slam. And my mom saw one the other day. It was very powerful, like beautiful, but intense, she said. She loves me so much, and she's not mean about it, but I think it kind of shakes her a little bit. They were not very enthused because of the content and the I don't know if I cursed in that poem, I'm sure I did, but the sexual content and people like paint me as super competitive, and I'm competitive against myself. Like, I always want to do better, and so that's kind of like, I want to make sure that the poems this year are better than the poems I did last year. So this is kind of my last slam, and I'm excited to just have fun. I don't even care. Like, ideally, like, I would love to win, but I just want to have fun, and like, this is my last slam. I want to soak it all in, you know?
Oh, wait a minute, it's right here. What was who has number 8? Ferns. Number 15. Have fun tonight. Get to know some of the poets who you don't know. If you don't know someone, introduce yourself to the poets. It's a very interesting night. And show love, you know. Snap it up for people who you feel their work. I mean, it's not always about just your work. It's about all of your work. So be excited about some of the great sounds you're going to hear tonight.
Ideally, you'd want to go more in the middle, but it's okay. First sucks. Second sucks a little less, I guess. Then if she doesn't make it to the second round, then I'm first. What the fuck? No, it's cool. It's fine. Rock out with our cocks out. So you're not nervous at all? No, I'm nervous. That's why I'm talking so silly.
Black Rain is going to procession you in, and the ushers are going to lead you to your seats.
I first left, and I'm like,
My name is D. Marquez Grissom. I go by Black on Campus, meaning believing limits actually create kings. And we got a great show coming up. So I want to thank you all for coming out. So can y'all get a round of applause for yourselves? Thank y'all. Poets have up to 3 minutes to read and recite original material. The competition is 2 rounds. I would like to introduce our 5 beautiful judges, okay, we're gonna do that, who will score the poets on originality, stage presence, content, delivery, and time. Then we'll award the winning poet either first, second, or third place.
Because no matter how few the sun rises, everyone is deserving of love.
7.0.
Your body is so warm, and damn it, I am Jungle Juice Jam drunk.
9.2.
I'm sick and tired of being a criminal when I know that life itself was not meant to destruct, but to give life.
Bounce that hurt us like my pride and joy when you denied the making of weed and flipped it to me.
Going up is about to go ahead and get real quick. All right. First up to the stage, second round, Caroline.
Paul, we have been so unlike ourselves lately. I am losing blood, and I don't want my last words to be, why didn't you duck and pray for ceasefire? Why
Aren't you fighting harder? This bedroom will be a Gettysburg before I abandon it. Amputate my gun-tunneled arm with the serious side of a handsaw. Roll the skin up into a cuff sleeve and cut the bone. I'll fight until our monogamy is so massacred we'll need to extract its dental remains to identify it. I refuse to partake in some premature backdoor burial shallow enough for children to swim in. Our plot will be so deep the core of the earth will heap the bottom of our coffin, cremating us as we are buried until our corpses are so interconnected you'll have to peel me off of your skin like a sunburn. I am not leaving anytime soon. And if you intend to remove me by force, my dear, there will be floorboards beneath my fingernails before I meet the doorframe. I know I'm not much. I cannot Kanye Kardashian and give you brunch with Valentino, private jet palace of Versailles. I am unkempt and I understand that, but there is extravagance in the Goya black beans and brown rice I bought in bulk for us, and I promise eventually we will be old money and overlooking only what we imagine for ourselves. Just don't leave yet. We made vows to the city when we married it. Henry Hudson himself unfixed the Brooklyn Bridge, flipped it onto his hip, and with the suspension cable harp strings began my procession down the aisle of Manhattan to you, my blushing and near Bronx boy, and either we honeymoon in the high tide under the Hell's Gate, or I will draw us a bloodbath so candlelit and bubbly it'll feel romantic until we remember that we are at war, until we forget that we used to be inches apart and always in each other's favor. I can't even make love to myself anymore. There are ages-old everything under my skin, awaiting an archaeologist to use my hands and listen to the sounds of myself being unearthed. There is no solace in 7 inches of pleasure chest Pyrex and headphones full of Pornhub, and after I finish myself, I can't help but imagine you, low crawling up from my trenches, red-lipped, then collapsing stateside and safe on my pillow the next day. It forces itself onto us, and I wonder what happens between now and noon. Does the 7 a.m. stainless and sincere sink into your skin like lotion, or does it simply outline it like shower water? When did I become a mere prologue to you? Dutifully unwritten and only anticipatory, my pages will yellow and wrinkle like a sun, fire extinguished, apocalyptic, and amounting to nothing before they contain a story of which you are not a part. You are my phantom limb, and I will fight for you still, but I am losing blood.
Poetry. So the artists, we're going to get a 3rd, 2nd, and 1st place trophy.
Oh yeah, I'm all about my neuro family placing. Milan is such a sweetheart, and she came up to me a few times. She workshopped her poems with me while I was working, and I was so proud that she placed. I wanted to place because I'm super competitive, and
I mean, who doesn't?
Yeah, like that's why you're there.
Taboo of whatever you're saying. It's just the artistry of it. Like that metaphor is, you wouldn't think of it unless you were Caroline.
Apparently Austin, Texas, which I didn't know, is the home of slam poetry, and there's like 20, 30, 40, 50-year-olds like competing in heavy poetry slams. So maybe I'll go like in a nationwide slam.
So you're definitely not done with poetry after this?
No.